Welcome back to NBA Cinema. So today we got to talk about some of the comments Zion Williamson made in the post game after they faced the Dallas Mavericks, and he's concerned with his role in the New Orleans Pelicans offense. And this has made some fans be like, man, we should have traded Zion when we had the opportunity. We should have not signed him. I've seen all types of comments coming from fans, and even some accusing Zion of trying to play hero ball. And I remember back when Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum kind of challenged him about getting on the court when he's not 100%, being a professional, watching what you eat, all that. They were saying, Zion needs to be a professional pretty much. And so Zion, when he comes out and he says something like this, I think he needs to be thankful for the organization being so patient with him, willing to offer him a maximum contract after playing so little games. And even in the games that he had played in, even though he was a productive player, it was like 4-minute bursts here. Everything was managed. As a young player, in his teens, early 20s, he's had all his NBA minutes managed pretty much until this year. And I'm talking about managed in a way, where he's injured, not managed like you do from day to day with any player. I'm talking about his was cut down, to accommodate his injuries, and his lack of professionalism is what they called it as far as his eating habits. But we're going to check out what Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum had to say last year after the bubble. Not the bubble. Sorry. Gosh. After the play-in where Zion sat out, and then we're going to check out what Zion had to say after the game the other night. Let's peep it.
And I know it's fresh, and maybe you haven't had time to think about it, but do you have a particular thing you would say is the highlight for you this season?
Highlight for me, I guess for me is probably stepping back on the floor after being out for 2 months. Just having a chance to be with my teammates again, having that feeling of what it feels like to be on the floor and playing the game that I love. Of course, I didn't feel like I came back on the court 100%, but I was with my teammates, and that's my happy place. So I think that was the highlight of my season.
If I feel like Zion, I'll be out there.
Is it kind of shocking?
You signed an extension that said you wanted to lay a foundation here in New Orleans with so much of the core in place under contract. Other than injury, of course, what do you guys have to do to take that next step next season?
It's hard to say what we need to do other than injury because we played 10 games together with our core. So I would say availability is important, man. We got to be available. We got to do what we need to do, off the court in terms of preparation, in terms of getting treatment, in terms of getting the right sleep, the right type of hydration, having the right type of diet. Everything has to matter to us for everybody, 1 through 15. This is a job that is a performance-driven job, right, where, you play at night. Tonight we played a 9 o'clock game. That's mad late, right? Like, how are you preparing for a 9 o'clock game? Like, what is your regimen like? What's your schedule like? Consistently doing the small stuff, I think, will be very important for us as a team, especially for our younger guys, understanding that you have to get a routine that's consistent, and it builds consistent success. So I would say that's the first thing that we need to do as a team in order to be able to play consistently together with everybody. If we don't do that, then I'll never have a real answer for you as to what we can accomplish because we won't be able to see it.
And you talked after the Houston game about how the offense is a little bit different for you this year than it was last year. Do you think that's something that you guys just need to address a little bit, maybe do some things differently or try to adapt some things from last year? I guess, how do you feel just where you are right now?
Like I said last year, we had a team meeting, and it was brought up some things that I could do better, especially like with buying into the program. And right now it's tough right now, but like I said, right now I'm taking a little back seat right now, and I'm trusting the process. I'm trying my best to buy in right now.
So you hear Zion there saying he's trying to buy in, he's trying to do what the team needs him to do to win, and that his offensive role had changed. Prior to this game or this post-game conference, and this prior one, he was concerned about his role on the offensive end. And what I will add to this is when you're injured so often and the team has to constantly plug players in where they thought someone that they have invested a great amount of money into would be available by this point in their career, then you kind of start seeing others step up and do different things offensively. So you may see a Herb Jones, and let's not forget, Trey Murphy is not even back yet. So that'll be even less shots because Trey Murphy is a burgeoning player, and he has the opportunity to become an all-star. He's trailblazing his own way. Brandon Ingram, of course, CJ McCollum. People like Herb Jones will become better offensive players over time. And so people going to want their touches, and they've had a bigger role for longer. It's hard to ask them to, okay, we need you to score about 5-6 more points than you normally would. But when Zion come back, we need you to kind of go back into your role. And this has been over this amount of time. This has been years that these guys have been playing. They actually saw a little success. I was knocked out the playoffs by the Phoenix Suns a few years ago, but these guys had experienced some success without Zion, at the highest level in the playoffs. And so when you look at, if you look at what Zion brings to the table, my thing has always been with him, he's always been bigger, faster, stronger than everybody at the previous levels that he played at. So even if he was healthy, and I get his stats, nobody needs to read his stats out to me. I get his stats. But I'm just talking about as far as having go-to moves and being a guy who you can rely on for offense at critical moments in games. He's not that, I would say. Although he can make a play happen here and there in critical moments, I think he's best suited as being a workhorse and a guy who scores when plays aren't ran for him. That's how Zion has always kind of been special, with his athleticism, his size, his strength, finishing through contact with ease, when he gets the angle and his athleticism. He's always been a guy who could do that. So I think energy plays and letting him kind of fly around on the court is where he's best suited. You don't give it to Zion at the top. Someone without a jump shot and on a good pack line defense say, okay, now go take it to the hole while everybody knows where you're going. And so they're just kind of waiting for you to get to the rim with their, 6'10", 7-foot players to come help side and make the shot difficult for you. And so, yeah, he has good numbers, but I'm just talking about in critical moments of the game. You'd rather see Brandon Ingram or someone like that who can create a shot have the ball at the end. So Zion being concerned with his role in the offense is a concern for the organization, if I must be honest, because he's the type of player that he's just suited, having a nose for the ball and taking his opportunities rather than having them clear out for him. He doesn't have that type of versatility on the offensive end, in my opinion. But, he's been more healthy this year than he's been throughout his career. So I'm hoping he can continue that, and I'm hoping that he can prove everyone wrong. I hope he is that guy offensively. I hope he can play, 75 games and play all through the playoffs if they're able to make it there. But, some of the fans are starting to turn on him, and I wanted to highlight that, and I wanted to show you what has been said over the course of the last 10 months between his teammates and then what he just said recently, just to show you the beginning stages of some things going on down there. But let me know what you guys think about this. Should Zion even be expressing displeasure in his offensive role, or should he be thankful that he even has a max contract with the few games that he played in his young career? Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, peace.